Hello everyone, so today I have these custom pops that I've made. They aren't the exclusive San Diego Comic-Con ones at all. I made these ones, and I noticed that some people were selling these figures. When I noticed that they were coming with the helmets as well when you could purchase them, I started to realize that they were taking just the regular Stormtrooper and switching the heads with the different characters, and then that's when I just went onto YouTube to watch videos on how to take the heads off of the figures. And then that's when I got the idea to make my own, because it's just, so much cheaper to buy it yourself, do it, instead of having to pay like $400, because that's how much the Leia and Luke and Han's are worth on eBay. So I didn't want to pay that much, so I just decided to make my own. So for this Leia, I just bought the regular Boushh vinyl figure. And I also bought, if you can recognize her, the Katniss, the Girl on Fire pop. So the one with her red dress, that's the one you want to get. Because I feel like that's the one that's the most similar to the actual Comic-Con one. Because this one comes with her hair braided and in a bun. And that's actually really what you want if you want it to look like that. I have seen figures and pictures with Leia with her hair like kind of braided and down, so maybe you could find one like that, but I wanted to stick with the one that was the Comic-Con one. But I will admit, the one that's the Comic-Con one, her bun is smaller. But I kind of like the exaggeration on this because Leia does have a lot of hair. So, what you want to do with this one, it's different because with these ones, they're all the Star Wars vinyl figures, so they're all the bobbleheads. This one, the Katniss one, was not. It was the one where her head was actually, you can see right there, it's that thing where there's no hole right there, unlike these ones. So what I noticed that people do to remove the heads is they heat up some water for a couple minutes. I did 5 minutes, and then when you take it out, you put them in the water, hold it for like another 5 minutes, I think, and then that should be soft enough to where you can pull that part out from her. And since hers did have that spring on, or since this body had the spring on it, I had to take the spring off, and then I just had that little part, and since this was still soft, I just kind of had to push it into there. And I guess you could probably take that part off, cut it off, and then still have the spring and then just glue it to the top of her head. But I don't really like the bobblehead, so I was okay with her just having like a solid body. And I will admit, if it doesn't bother you, she does, I don't know if you can see it, she does have some blush and some pink on her face. But it's not too dramatic, so I don't mind. But it is the closest one that looks like Leia, so that's why I don't really mind. And then for these ones, I did the exact same thing. I heated up some water, held them in there, and because I figured since they have the springs, you could just take the springs off, but it's actually still really difficult, at least for me it was. So I still had to warm them up so the spring could like come off a little bit more. And with Han's, it was actually really easy, and it worked pretty well. With Luke's, I had a problem and it didn't go as well, so that's why this one's not really a bobblehead anymore, because the spring, I accidentally pulled it too much, and then I waited a little too long, and then it was a lot tougher to take off, so then it got all sorts of stretched. And so then I had to kind of remove it all together, and so then I had to re-glue it to the top of his head. And since it's kind of like crooked, I had to glue the neck part to his actual head. So that's why this one's not a bobblehead. So that one I did have trouble with, but like I said, I don't really want, or I don't really like the bobblehead, so I'm okay with it. They all come with stands, and that's when I got the idea to put the helmets on top of the stands. That way you still have them to display, and then they don't have to be so awkward. Because before I just had it like this, and that's okay, but I don't know, I think having it on like a stand and then next to her would look nice. Or maybe even putting these like back in a box and having this helmet on top of the box. That might work, I don't know. I still haven't quite figured it out, but right now I like them on their own separate stands. But I am happy that I was able to actually like recreate these, even if they're not the actual authentic San Diego Comic-Con exclusive pop vinyls. Hopefully this helped, like, because once you figure out like how to do this, and I would recommend like watching videos on like how to remove the heads, just so you're more prepared. But once you figure that out, you can pretty much make any customizations that you want, like of any pop vinyls that haven't been made yet or that you want but you can't afford, and it'd be cheaper just to do it yourself. So hopefully this helps. And thanks for watching.